Hi my friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be trying out Rare Beauty's eyeshadow palettes. They sent over 2 eyeshadow palettes for me to try out and review for you guys. Now, this is a really new brand to me. I have reviewed one of their palettes in one of my previous videos. For Saturdays, I do dedicate my videos to my Spanish speaking community, so I have reviewed one of the palettes, which is this one here. This is the Confident Energy eyeshadow palette. So I got my first impression from this palette. I'm gonna be including the tutorial that I did using this eyeshadow palette in today's video, but I'm gonna focus more on the other eyeshadow palette that I have not used, and that palette is the Magnetic Spirit eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna share with you guys some swatches right over here. So right over here we have the Magnetic Spirit eyeshadow palette, and in order from bottom to the top we have the color Passion, Grounded, Clarity, Power, Ignite, Ablaze. All of these eyeshadows are gorgeous. I am really intrigued by the color Passion, so I'm definitely going to utilize that eyeshadow in today's makeup look, and then we're just going to go with the flow. I also wanted to be sure that I included swatches for this eyeshadow palette called Confident Energy, and these shades here are from bottom to top is Boost, Willpower, Gutsy, Strong, Elevate, Trust. So those are the swatches of these eyeshadow palettes. As you guys can see, all of the shadows inside of these palettes are shimmer shadows. There's no matte shades, which kind of was a little bit disappointing, but overall these shimmers are gorgeous, and I'm really excited to get to play with this eyeshadow palette today because I got a really good impression from the other palette that I used in Saturday's video, which again, I'm going to be sharing with you guys that tutorial, but just create it as a voiceover for you guys to follow along in case you guys are interested more in that eyeshadow palette over this one. It kind of gives you an idea of how both of these eyeshadows perform, and that is what you guys should be expecting from today's video. If you guys have not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe down below. I'm here for you guys 2 to 3 times per week to share with you guys my love for makeup and just reviewing products for you guys in case these launches are something that you guys are interested in and you guys just want to see how they perform or how you guys can create looks using these eyeshadow palettes. So if you're interested in seeing how these eyeshadow palettes perform, then just go ahead and keep on watching.
No, I'd rather be waking up with you, set up alone in your room, slept with the light on, waiting up for you. I don't wanna be.
I wanted to be sure to include how my package arrived. So I received this box here. It got a little bit dirty, but it says Rare Beauty, and once you open it up, right over here, it says, "This is makeup made to feel good in without hiding what makes you unique." It also says right here that all the shipping materials are 100% recyclable, which is great. And they sent over this cute little bag that says Rare Beauty on it, along with a poster. And you guys, I am completely obsessed with Selena Gomez. Like, she is just so gorgeous. And I just wanted to share that we get a poster of her. And then on the back, it kind of just describes the eyeshadow palettes that I have in here with me. So yeah, both of these eyeshadow palettes retail for $25, and you can purchase them over at Sephora. Like I said, I received this little bag here. It says Rare Beauty. Then you take out the eyeshadow palettes. So both of the eyeshadow palettes arrive in a little carton like this here. They both look the same, and here they are side by side. The color scheme that you guys see in front of the palette is the color scheme that you should be expecting inside of these palettes. So I've already shared with you guys the swatches of each of these palettes. Let's go ahead and begin with using this palette here, and I'm going to show you guys a tutorial step by step on a look that I'm going to create. Like I always mention, I don't ever plan out my looks. I just kind of go with the flow with whatever color intrigues me the most. This does have a really good size mirror, as you guys can see here. And this is the color scheme I'm going to be playing with today. I have already applied some concealer, but it's dried down and it's starting to crease on my eyelids. really doesn't matter because we're going to be playing around with shimmers, and whenever I play around with shimmers, I do like wetting my brush just so that I get the most vibrance out of these eyeshadows. For first impression tutorials or just whenever I am reviewing any type of eyeshadow palette, I do like to implement as many eyeshadows from the palette so that you guys get an idea of how they look and how they work on the eyes. So I think I'm going to be starting off with using this color right over here. This one is called, what is this called? Ignite. And I don't have any face makeup because I did experience some fallout with that previous eyeshadow palette. So I kind of know that the formula is going to be working kind of similar. And if not, at least it's better safe than sorry, right? So I am going to go ahead and apply this as my transition color into the crease area. I'm just going to be applying it all over there. It's kind of weird to play with shimmer shadows as transition shades because I'm just not the biggest fan of that look. I just want to see what look I come up with using her eyeshadow palettes, and you know what, maybe shimmer shadows like all over the eye are going to be the new thing. Because I really did enjoy the last look I created with the other eyeshadow palette. I think it came out really pretty and the colors were really vibrant. I had no issue blending, just like I'm not having an issue blending this one out. It's blending out really, really nice. So there you have it. Kind of want to show you guys what it looks like all around because it is pretty light, but you can definitely see that it's there. And by the way, I used a Morphe M456 eyeshadow brush. I'm going to go ahead and clean off my brush on one of these little tin cleaners. I'll have this one linked down below in my description box because this definitely comes in really handy. I used to use a little makeup cloth that I had on my desk and I always dropped it on the floor. I just misplaced it, and I just love the fact that this is really small and it just stays on my desk whenever I just need to clean up my makeup brush. So the next color I'm going to be going into is called Grounded, and that's this color right here. And I'm going to start to sort of darken things up at the crease with this color. And just like this. Doesn't matter if you get onto the eyelid, we're just going to be covering that up. So we're just blending this into the other one, but making sure that we pack on the most intensity into the crease area. Once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and wipe off the eyeshadow from the brush, and I'm just blending this color into the other one. Again, you have to make sure you don't have any product on the brush. You're just using the brush to blend those two colors together. And I love how these blended out. As you can see, you don't see a line between both colors, like they're just blended into each other really nice. And I really fell in love with this color here called Passion. I just have to use this because it's really, really beautiful. With this color, I am going to spray the brush just so that we get the most intensity out of this color. We're just going to place this color onto the lid like so. And just continue to apply this color all over the eyelid. Ooh, I love how that's looking with my sweater. Now that I have that color down, I'm going to darken things up a little bit, well, actually quite a lot. Using that same exact brush, I'm going to take this one here called Clarity, and this is the darkest purple. I'm going to apply that right next to that previous shadow that I applied at the lid, and slowly start to bring it into the center, blending it into the other color. I do want to spray the brush with this color as well. I just want that intensity to be bold. Love that. I'm going to go back into that Morphe M456 eyeshadow brush that I used to apply the orange shade, which is called Ignite. And I'm going to dip into that purple that I just used. And I'm going to use this brush just to diffuse these outer edges because we don't want that line to show like that. We want it to be blended. So let's go ahead and work on these outer edges. By the way, if you guys are interested in purchasing this palette, I'll go ahead and have it linked down below, and I'm also going to link down this brush because I feel like this brush you can also apply your lid shade and you can use it to diffuse out any eyeshadow color that you want. This is just an all-around very useful eyeshadow brush. I do have a discount code for you guys. It's GlamFam491. It is not an affiliate code. It just gets you money off of your Morphe purchase. So just wanted to, you know, save you guys a little bit of money. As you can see, that color definitely blended out really good with this eyeshadow brush. So I'm going to go back into that orange shade that we used at the crease. That's this one right here. And we're going to apply that, kind of overlapping it with that purple, just to really make sure this is all nicely blended. And we're also going to go back into this color right here because we can't even see that color anymore. So we're just going to apply it right into the crease area one more time. I really love this cream gel liner from ColourPop, and this one is in the color Amethyst Hour. I'm going to be applying this to my waterline because I feel like this is a perfect color to apply at the waterline with the shadows that I have on my eyelid. And it just glides on really, really easily. Okay, so now I want to dive into this color right here, this orange color, and I'm going to be applying this right underneath the waterline, just like that. Now that I have that done, I'm going to go over to this outer edge, and for that outer edge, I kind of want to play around with this one because I haven't used this one on my eye yet, and I'm hoping that it looks okay. Let's go ahead and apply this at the outer edge. Just like that, and kind of bringing it inward like this. Now I'm basically using every color from this palette, so this is the last color that I have not used, but I'm going to use it right now. And I'm just going to be brightening things up and applying this to the water duct. So this eye makeup is basically done. I'm just going to clean up underneath the eye area right here. And I want you guys to see that I definitely did experience fallout. So since I am done with this eyeshadow look here, I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same steps over to this eye. I'm going to apply the rest of my face, and then I'm going to be right back to share with you guys the finished look. Alright, I'm back now, and I completed both eyes, applied some fake eyelashes. By the way, these are my eyelashes in the style GNO. And if you would like to see how I completed my face makeup, I have that in my previous video. It's like a BoxyCharm review for the month of October, but I completed my face with the products that I received in that box. So head on over to that previous video after this video, of course. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this look. We're going to go ahead and just jump into the next tutorial using the other eyeshadow palette. As I previously mentioned, this tutorial was actually filmed in Spanish for my Saturday upload, and I'm just doing a voiceover for you guys so you guys can compare both palettes and see which one works out best for you and your liking. So let's go ahead and begin with the tutorial with this palette. I get inspired to create my eye looks based on one color. So if I'm drawn to one color, I revolve my entire look around that color. And this color here, called Boost, is one that really intrigued me. It is such a gorgeous green shade. I'm just using a flat packing brush like this one here to apply it all over the eyelid. I also made sure that I sprayed my brush before applying this eyeshadow, and I applied it in a packing motion all throughout the lid before blending it out. To blend out the eyeshadow, I used the Morphe M433 eyeshadow brush, just like I used in the previous look that you guys seen, so this brush definitely gets a lot of use out of it. When you begin blending out an eyeshadow, it starts to lose the pigment, so I wanted to go back over with that same color Boost and just pack it back over the eyelid. And I just had to play with the color right next to it, which it's called Willpower. That blue is just very eye-catching, and I wanted to place it right next to that previous color just to see how it would come about, and I'm really happy that I made that decision. Because would you just look at that intensity? The technique that I like to use is a packing motion to the outer corner of the eye, and then slowly I start to blend in the remainder of the eyeshadow into the other color. I just don't want you to be able to see both colors really separated. I like them to be well blended into each other. Once they are blended, just go ahead and grab the same blending brush, the Morphe M43 brush, and then just start to diffuse the outer corners of that blue so that it's really blended out into the rest of the eye. And I really try to use as many colors as possible from every eyeshadow palette I ever review, just so you guys get an idea of how these eyeshadows blend out and how they appear on the eyes. I'm going to be using this next color called Elevate just to highlight underneath the eyebrow bone. Once I've done that, I'm going back into the color Willpower and I'm just packing it back at the outer corner of the eye because I just noticed that I didn't have that same intensity I once had. So just going back over the color and just applying as much color as you want. Because honestly, with a wet brush and a shimmer shade, you can get really good color payoff. I decided to go back into the color Elevate and highlight the water duct, just like I'm doing here, and just making sure that that color is blended into the other colors. And for this technique, I like using the Sigma Shader Lid Brush. This is the E56 brush. At my waterline, I decided to go in with the Laura Mercier Burnished Bronze Caviar Stick Eye Colors, and I'm applying this at the waterline. You can use this as an all-over eyeshadow, but I love using these caviar sticks for my waterline. And with this eye stick, I felt like the color Gutsy from the eyeshadow palette really complemented that waterline color. So we're just going to go ahead and apply that underneath the waterline. And then we're just going to go back into Willpower, which is the blue shade, and we're going to apply it to the outer corner. Bringing it in, blending into the brown shade, which is kind of a weird mixture, but hey, somehow I made it work. I did experience quite a bit of fallout with these eyeshadows, and I already had my foundation on, so that was definitely a mistake that I made. So if you do decide to pick up these palettes, I recommend that you use the eyeshadows first before applying your face makeup. We're pretty much done with the eyeshadow. All I have to do is apply some lashes and the rest of my face, and that'll complete the look. For my eyelashes, I decided to go with my Serenity eyelashes. If you guys are interested in this style, you guys can shop my website. I'll have that link down below. This pair here is only $10, and these are very subtle eyelashes for beginners and anyone that's just getting into makeup, because these have a very flexible thin band, which makes application extremely easy. So this here is the completed look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this look here. I did not know what I was doing until I was actually doing it. I used almost every eyeshadow from the palette with the exception of maybe 2 or 1. But yeah, I really like the colors that I picked, and I think that this is such a vibrant, beautiful look.
Alrighty, so that completes both tutorials using both different eyeshadow palettes. If you guys would like to see more tutorials using these eyeshadow palettes, please let me know down in the comments which palette you would like me to do. Maybe 2 looks using 1 eyeshadow palette. So sound off below in the comments, and also be sure to give my video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye!